Shraddhayam prane nibishto mritam yomi. Shraddhayam apane nibishto aham yomi. Shraddhayam vyane nibishto amritam yomi. Shraddhayam udane nibishto amritam yomi. Shraddhayam samane nibishto amritam yomi. Brahmanima atma amritamattvaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. From the Mahanarayana Upanishad. Firm in my religious faith, I offered this oblation of ambrosia into prana with reverence. Firm in my religious faith, I offered this oblation of ambrosia into apana with reverence. Firm in religious faith, I offered this oblation of ambrosia into jnana with reverence. Firm in my religious faith, I offered this oblation of ambrosia into udana with reverence. Firm in religious faith, I offered this oblation of ambrosia into samana with reverence. By these oblations, may myself be united with the Supreme, so that I may attain immortality. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. This morning our subject is Thoughts on the Gita, part 121. We are starting the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, Shraddha Vibhaga, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, the inquiry into the threefold Shraddha. In the first lecture, I remember, I talked about Shraddha, what Shraddha is. We generally translate that word as faith. But Shraddha is not only faith, it has also other qualities in that particular Sanskrit word. You see, there are some words cannot be translated into English as it is. In Shraddha, we find steadiness, strength, love, devotion, bravery, a lot of intensity we find in this word. Let me give an example, you will understand the power, the strength of Shraddha. If you see scattered clouds, it doesn't make any power of destruction. But when those clouds are concentrated, become one, it becomes tornado. It becomes very dark. The tornado may move 150 to 200 miles per hour. And it creates so much speed that it can destroy the homes, cars, trees. Same cloud, but when it is concentrated, it can be a disaster. Same thing, the Shraddha. When it is concentrated, focused in one pointed direction, it can show miracle. It will give God's realization. You whatever you want, you can get it. Shraddha, faith. Swami Vivekananda said, you people have 330 million faith in 330 million gods and goddesses, but you have no faith in yourself. What good is that faith? It will not work. Faith in oneself. That Krishna is telling in this chapter of the Gita. He told a very beautiful sentence. Yo yashraddha saeva sa. A man is what his faith is. His self-conviction is very vital. In every respect. I was telling one of my orthodontists, seeing you, how I feel, you have tremendous conviction. When you do work, you know it will work. Most people do not have that kind of conviction. That conviction comes from experience. Conviction. That is Shraddha. Shraddha Traya, three kinds of Shraddha. Krishna mentioned Sattvik, Rajasic, Tamasic. In the beginning we talked about Shraddha, about foods, Sattvik food, Rajasic food, Tamasic food, how this food affects in human system. We discussed elaborately about it. Another interpretation of Shraddha is called Astika Buddhi. God exists. This faith, it comes from experience. Osti iti upalabdebhyo. It exists. Experience it. This experience, another interpreter says, Buddhirja nishchatmika. A person's intellect has full conviction. That conviction, that is called Shraddha. In Vedanta system, they have a definition of Shraddha. Guru Vedanta Vaikeshu Vishwasva Shraddha. Faith in the words of the Guru and the scripture is called Shraddha. As there is a gradation of love, so there is a gradation of Shraddha. Sometimes we love, I love you 10%, another 15%, 20%, love great. But wholehearted love, seldom we find in this world. 100% love. So Shraddha also there is a gradation. So Sattvik, Rajasic, Tamasic, these kinds of Shraddha we find. According to temperament, upbringing, background, nature, samskaras, impressions of the previous life, people develop Shraddha. Some people come, recently a person came for initiation. She's very young, but her faith, her Shraddha is so intense. Drove 700 miles to St. Louis. Tremendous Shraddha. Another thing, before I start, I am going to tell you another thing. Shraddha also we are going to discuss this thing. Shraddha, yajna, tapa, dana, kriya. Yajna means sacrifice. Before I start my talk, I want to talk to you about a yajna. Yajna, jajati, worship. We cannot live in this world without worship. We worship something which we love. Worship does not mean that only sitting in the shrine with water and flower we do the worship. No, 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 no. Worship has a very big range of meaning. Worship. Yajna, actually yajna means Ishwarer dhan. We offer to God. That is called yajna, sacrifice. English exact translation is sacrifice, worship, adoration. That is yajna. Now, this yajna worshipping God, offering anything to God, that is called yajna. In Hindu system, there are 5 kinds of sacrifice. First, deva yajna, offering to God, sacrifice to God. Then, pitri yajna, offering to the ancestors, departed ancestors. Third, rishi yajna, offering to the rishis, the sages. Why? Because they gave us wisdom, culture. Fourth, nirjagya, worship, adoration to other human beings. Fifth, bhuta yajna, offering to the animals, birds, beasts. These 3 kinds of sacrifice, all human beings are supposed to do. Why? Because the more you sacrifice, the more they will come back to you. What you will give, that will come back to you. If I pay respect to you, you will respect to me. If I am angry with you, you will return anger to me. That is the way human system works. Standing in front of a mirror, if you have a smiling face, smiling reflection. Gloomy, grouchy face, gloomy, grouchy reflection. Whatever you project, that thing will come back to you. So sacrifice is very, very important in spiritual life. That Krishna will tell us. This sacrifice becomes selfish and unselfish. What is the difference between God and demon? God is unselfish. Demons are selfish. Let me give an example, you will understand better. There is a beautiful rose, red color, nice, in the garden. You took that rose and then you put it on your pocket and you are going to a party. And showing that, how beautiful I am. I have a beautiful, fresh rose in my pocket. You see sometimes in the party, people come with rose. I don't know why. Again, same person, another person, take that rose and goes to the shrine and offers to God, Sri Ramakrishna, Krishna, Jesus. Lord, this is my offering. So this is 2 persons have 2 motives. One is me, another is thou. The yajna is thou. That flower you pick up, you give to God. I was telling one of our devotees in Laguna during my class in Kali Mandir satsang. I told him, do you know what? In Indian system, when you go to a temple or to see a holy man or to see a guru, or to see the king, you should not get empty-handed. You must carry something as a token of your love. Faith. Do you know why? When you go to the market, you bought an apple. And you are thinking, I shall offer this apple to Sri Ramakrishna. That apple and Sri Ramakrishna and your mind become connected. And you are driving to the temple to offer to God or Sri Ramakrishna. So that God, when you are buying flowers in the market, you are thinking about the God, this flower, I shall decorate the shrine. That is called preparation. And the moment you go to the shrine, immediately you get connection. That is the reason, unless we are going to our loved person, we carry something. It is extremely important. Sri Ramakrishna went to Jyoti Mallik's house to visit the deity, the Divine Mother. Author was a deputy magistrate. He also went. Sri Ramakrishna says, Author, did you offer something to the Divine Mother? No, Swami. No, Master, I did not know that anything should offer. No. You must offer something to the Mother, according to your capacity. Just offer. That is your love, your devotion. You know, Sri Ramakrishna used to train his disciples. Anyhow, I am just telling you that how this yajna works. Selfishness, unselfishness. I shall tell you a story. The gods are defeated by the demons. And the demons, the two powers are always working. So the God says that we shall destroy the demons. How? God tells the God of speech. Do you know who is the God of speech? Fire. Who is the God of the fire? Eyes. Sun. Who is the God of the mind? Moon. Every sense organs has a presiding deity. So we must defeat them. So it is in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So what happened? They asked the Bach speech, you sing the Udgita, the Vedas, then we shall be very powerful and we shall defeat them. So the Asuras polluted the Vedas. They entered inside and said, no, don't glorify you. Sometimes we become very selfish through our speech. Our eyes become selfish. I love to see the good things. My other sense organs, they become selfish, unselfish. So they polluted all sense organs, the Asuras, the demonical power, they polluted. Just like, in the Bible we find the Satan is instigating Eve to eat the apple. Same kind of story, So what happens, then they wanted to pollute the prana. Could not do it. Prana is indestructible. Do you know what? When you go to sleep, what happens? Your sense organs go to sleep. But your prana never sleeps till death. Amazing, this human prana. Even in deep sleep, all sense organs are sleeping. But prana is awake. That your heart is pumping blood. Your lungs are pumping. Yeah. You see, that from the very beginning I chanted from the prana. The glory of the prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, that I repeated in the very beginning from the Mandarana Upanishad. The power of prana. So what happens, this prana becomes victorious. So all gods, they say, a prana, energy, shakti. You can only defeat everything. And when you have that shakti, energy, you will attain immortality. That is called sacrifice. If you want to be immortal, you must sacrifice. That is the story of the yajna I tell you in the very beginning. Now I shall start. We finished up to verse 10. Today we shall start with 11. Our talk is number 121. Afalakankshivi yajyo viridrishta cha ya yajyati yadrishtam ebiti manaha samadhayo sa sattika. That yajna is sattvic, which is performed by those desiring no fruit, as enjoined by ordinance, with their minds fixed on the yajna only for its own sake. Yajna. During the Vedic period, they called it Darsha Purnamas Yajna. Darsha Purnamas. New moon and full moon, they used to offer sacrifice to gods. Jyotishtama Yajna, a kind of sacrifice they used to perform so that they can go to heaven and get heavenly enjoyment. There are various kinds of sacrifices we find in the Karma Kanja, the working part of the Vedas. Then Nitya Karma, daily obligatory duties. He says the Afalakanksha, without seeking the result of action, if you perform sacrifice, that is called sattvic, unmotivated, unselfish, desiring no fruit. These verses I shall go a little quickly so that when the things come I shall elaborate it and I shall tell you more. Upishandayotu phalam dambhartam apichet chaivajat ijjati bharatasreshta tam yajnam vidhi rajasam. That which is performed, O best of the Bharatas, seeking the fruit thereof, and for ostentation, know it is to be Rajasic Yajna. Seeking result. I am performing the sacrifice so that I shall go to heaven and have heavenly happiness and heavenly enjoyment. I know some people, during the marriage ceremony of their children, spend hundreds, $100,000, $200,000. But that is one kind of, to me, they know that is, with that money, if you can help some 100 poor people, you will get more virtue. More virtue. That is my feeling. It is not good to put oil on a person who has already oil. Help the poor people. That is the way that is called sacrifice. Then you will get hundreds and hundreds of virtues. If my son's marriage, I am making my son happy. And with that money, I get 1 unit joy. But if I help with that money for 100 people, I get 100 units joy. That is the way I look at my life. And I look at the sacrifice. Let me tell you a story from the Mahabharata. After the Mahabharata war, before the Mahabharata, Krishna asked Yudhishthira performed Rashtriya Yajna. So when this Yajna was performed, and people are glorifying Yudhishthira, the God, he was a embodiment of dharma. People are praising him. So, nobody has ever seen such sacrifice. That time a mongoose came its half body is golden, half body is grey. So the mongoose rolled in that Vedic, that sacrificial ground, and told, it is no sacrifice at all. It is a very poor sacrifice. Everybody is asking, why do you so, a mongoose? Listen to a story. I was in a jungle, and one day, 5 people came to the jungle and just stayed at night. It was cold, and these pilgrims in the jungle, they have no food, they are shivering. So one couple of birds, husband and wife, and they have 3 children, they are on the top of the tree. The husband said to the wife, you know, we got some chatu. Chatu means lentil powder. So we brought this food for us, but these people are very hungry. Oh no, that is not it. So he said that these people are very hungry, cold, and we have no food. So I want to give my body to these hungry people. So the husband fell into the fire and burnt himself, thinking that his body will be the food for these 5 guests. Then wife says, my husband's body is not enough. I shall sacrifice my body. He sacrificed the body. Then the 3 children also, they sacrificed their body. And in that ground, there was some bhiksha, some kind of lentil powder was there. So the mongoose rolled there, and half of that body immediately became golden. Well, that sacrifice is the real sacrifice, and Yudhishthir's sacrifice is not a real sacrifice. This story you will find in the Karma Yoga of Swamiji. I told you in a very brief. I told you briefly. Rajasic Yajna. Nowadays in Calcutta, my goodness, they build Durga Puja time, they build the pandal. Millions of dollars pandal, but puja articles are very poor. They pay the priest very little. Only show that our image, our pandal is the best in Calcutta. That is called Rajasic sacrifice. Tamasic sacrifice, Vidhinam Asrishtannam Mantrahinam Adakshinam Shraddha Virohitam Yajna Tamasam Parichakshati. The yajna performed without heat to ordinance, in which no food is distributed, which is devoid of mantras, gifts, and shraddha, is said to be tamasic. Tamasic sacrifice. I know some places they were doing the Durga Puja. So there are 2 groups. Puja will be very little, but they are making the menu that in the puja party, what shall we feed? But we shall put this menu, then we shall put this menu. Whose menu is the best? Or you think of mother, do the puja. They are thinking about how much we shall enjoy from this puja. That is called tamasic puja. Selfish. We shall give the goat sacrifice so that we can enjoy the meat. We shall offer wine so that we can drink. It's just like some people do Christmas party. They do not call it Christmas festival, Christmas party. Are Christmas party? Drink and food? Is it the way to pay respect to Christ? Festival. This is called tamasic sacrifice, tamasic puja. New Year's party, Christmas party, puja party, good food, drink, dance, party. It is not real sacrifice, Krishna says. Devo dijam guru pragyam pujanam shaucham arjavam brahmacharya ahimsa cha shariram tapu uchyate. Next thing you will have to understand, tapa, tapasya. Everybody is practicing, tapasya means austerity. Everybody is practicing austerity. Without austerity you cannot achieve anything. Look, here is a man going to medical school. 8 years, hard work, austerity, study, practice. Then for a specialization, then he becomes a doctor. Austerity. A monk's life, 9 years austerity, then you become a Swami. So Krishna says, worship of the gods, the Brahmins, those who will give us wisdom, Vedic culture, the gurus, who will give us spiritual guidance, instruction, and the wise, purity, straightforwardness. Shaucham, purity, arjavam, straightforwardness. Some people's minds are so crooked. Those who are very spiritual, you will find they're very simple. Sri Ramakrishna made a beautiful remark. Janma janmantare tapasya thakle manush sorol hoy. A person becomes simple by practicing austerity for many, many, many births. Brahmacharyam, celibacy, ahimsa, non-violence. This is called physical austerity. Austerity will come from 3 planes. Kayena, manasa, vacha. Physical, verbal and mental. We must practice austerity in 3 planes. Disciplines. Real tapasya comes from word tapa. Tapa means heat. Heat. When we practice spiritual disciplines, we generate heat in the system. Spiritual heat. The air goes up. When Swamiji used to meditate, 2 hours, 3 hours, his face would become red, eyes red, whole blood goes there. And Swami Shivananda says, it was so good to see Swamiji's meditation. He sits there motionless, transcends the body, mind, everything. But his face becomes red. Amazing. That is his puja. He used to worship Sri Ramakrishna through meditation. Those who have, the day you have good meditation, you immediately go to the mirror, see your face, you will see so much calmness, serenity on your face. Some days you go and meditation with the inside anger, jealousy, hatred, come and see your shrine. In your mirror, you will see different kind of face. This is called tapasya, physical control of the physical plane. You see, if you are perfect in the gross, you will be perfect in subtle. From the gross plane, you must try to practice discipline. You must have good perfection in the beginning. Brahmacharya, celibacy. Beautiful, this tapasya. I remember a monk was going for tapasya in the Himalayas. So another senior monk was telling him, before you go to the Himalayas, read Ramakrishna, Lila Prasanga, Ramakrishna's Divine Place, chapter, volume 2. There are 5 volumes. So, volume 2. There you will find Sri Ramakrishna practice austerity. How Sri Ramakrishna practice austerity. Read that and then go for tapasya. Then you will get inspiration. Next, Anudvego karam bhaikyam satyam priyo hitam hita chayat swadhayo abhyasanam chaiva bangmayam tapa yuchati. Speech which causes no vexation and which is true, as also agreeable and beneficial, and regular study of the Vedas. These are said to form up austerity of speech. So you understand physical tapasya, how to practice austerity in the physical plane. I talked about it. Now, how we must practice austerity on the verbal plane. Anudvegam karam bhaikyam. Don't use harsh, rude words to anyone. We make friends through words. We make enemies through words. Bhakshalya. Some people who talk, it will cut and penetrate in the heart. Make the heart happy. Never use those words. Remember, the thing which you are projecting, that thing will come back to you. What comes in your mind, that comes outside. You are a bad person. That is the reason all bad words come from your mouth. Whatever inside, that comes outside. So hearing your speech, hearing your talk, we understand what kind of person you are. Anudvegam karam bhaikyam satyam. Speak the truth. It is in Manu Samhita, the Hindu code, Hindu law. Satyam briyat priyam briyat ma briyat satyam apriyam priyancha nanritam briyat isha dharma sanatana. Sanatana dharma. The eternal religion is speak the truth, speak the pleasant things. Ma briyat satyama, but don't speak unpleasant truth. Beautiful words. Satyam briyat priyam briyat ma briyat satyam apriyam. It reminds me of a story. Suppose you were blind. I said, hey, you are blind. It is the truth. You are not supposed to tell that. A monk, blind monk, went with other monks to see Kedarnath in the Himalayas. And seeing him, another monk made a remark, you know, you have no eyes. Why did you walk such a long distance and had so much trouble to see Amarnath, Kedarnath? Do you know what did that monk say? It is true, I have no eyes to see God. But God has eyes to see me. That is a beautiful answer. God has seen me. I have no eyes to see God because I am blind. Apriya Sattva. You see, suppose I see some people have some defects. If you want to correct the defect, you will have to put the words in such a way so that that person will not be hurt. I asked one disciple of Holy Mother, tell me about her mother. He said, মা কাকু মনে কষ্ট দিয়ে কথা বলতে পারতেন না. Mother never used any word to hurt people. Never she did it in her life. Never hurt anybody through words. Sometimes I see sometimes a debate I hear in our Washington DC, the senators and the congressmen. Oof, sometimes they attack each other so harshly. To me, they are like most civilized, cultured people are elected. But when they bicker, oof, it's just very in a positive way, in a rational way, not in a nasty way. It is really, sometimes I say, Are, this person is highly educated, highly cultured, but the way he is talking, it seems to be an uncivilized person. We lose our civility because of ego. Anudbhagam karam bhaikyam saitam priyam apriya. Swadhyay, study, abhyasanam jaiva, bhagavad. This is the way you can purify, your speech, that is very important. In our language there is a saying, bobar shotru nei. A dumb person does not have any enemy. If you are dumb, you have no enemy. Words. Some people are very positive. Some people are negative. Some are optimistic. Some are pessimistic. All words. It is very difficult to work with negative people. Oh, I cannot do it. Oh, it cannot be done. Very difficult. I experienced myself. Very difficult to work with those people. First he says no. Then they will avoid. Some people, the yogis, before they speak anything, they see that the effect of that words. It is very, very important. What is the effect of this, my speech? You see, all international, the president, they must keep their words. You see, if you do not keep your words, do you know what will happen? You will lose the integrity of your character. Hey, this person is a liar. He does not keep his words. It is extremely important to keep your words. That Sri Ramakrishna says, that is called dharma. Mon, mukh, akkarai dharma. To unite the mind and the speech, that is called dharma, that is religion. Hold on the truth. But you know, there is another saying in the scripture. Don't speak unpleasant truth. But if you love somebody, say unpleasant truth for his welfare. To correct him, to put him in the right direction. Though it is harsh, though it is very unpleasant, but I tell you for your good. If you do this way, it will not good for your life. Go this way. You are doing wrong. If I love somebody. Otherwise, sometimes we neglect. Upeksha. Go. You will suffer from your own karma. I have nothing to do. But if I love you, I shall tell you, don't do this. It will be harmful to you. That also scripture says. In the Viveka Chudamani Shankara says, Yogasya Prathamam Dwaram Bang Nirodho Aparigro. The first gate of the yoga is the Bang Nirodho, control of the speech. In this world, we know verbal abuse. Oof. You are a big boss, you are abusing your juniors or subordinate people. It is not good. Your team will miss. How to bring these people together through sweetness, through love. They will work more. One of my students is a big position, is a director of a big university. I told you, suppose I came to you and said that, in my home, my wife is not sick, I will have to take them to the doctor. I shall leave the office 3 hours earlier, please. If you say, yes, please go. That man will be indebted to you. That man will come and will more next day. The work he could not finish it, he will come and finish it next day and do more work. Just your sweetness and your behavior. Not only in the family life, in the working field, in the monastery, everywhere. Just sweet relationship. Otherwise, friction. In the dining table, quarreling, fighting. Oof, what good is that life? Some people say Gita is an ancient scripture. What good is Gita nowadays? This is the new, I am telling you the practical things. We want peace and happiness in home. Practice Bhagavad Gita. It is extremely important. Chitter Prasad, Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upekshanam, Maitri, friendship, Karuna, compassion, Mudita. Mudita is love, feeling love, appreciation. Upeksha, indifference. This is the 4 ways a yogi maintains the equanimity of the mind. It is in the Yoga Sutra. It is a beautiful mantra. How to maintain the calmness, equanimity of the mind. This is the way. Friendship, appreciation. Mana prasada summattam maunam atma vinigraha bhavam samshuddhiriti etat tapo manasam uchati. Serenity of mind, kindness, silence, self-control, honesty of motive, this is called the mental austerity. So we talked about physical austerity, we talked about verbal austerity, tapasya, and now we are talking about mental austerity. Mana prasada, serenity of the mind, maintain the serenity of the mind. That I told. The yogis practice friendship, compassion, love, and indifference. I told you, you are my friend. I told you, don't do it. Don't drink alcohol. It is not good. Don't drink marijuana. It may damage your brain. If I am your friend, I am telling you. But you don't care for my words. You don't listen to me. Then what shall I do? Shall I have to beg again and again? No. I told you what is good for you. Then upeksha. I shall be completely indifferent to you. You go your way. Sometimes the Guru does to the disciple. The disciple, those who do not obey, you go your way. I am telling you what is good for you. No motive, no expectation, because I love you. I want your welfare. I want your prosperity. Shummattam means kindliness, maunam, silence, self-control, atma vinigraha, honesty. This is the way we can maintain the calmness, the clean mind. Some people are so shrewd, crooked, conspiracy, they pollute their minds. We are polluting our minds. If you practice this verse, your mind will be unpolluted. And unpolluted mind experiences peace, joy, happiness, bliss, spirituality. I remember Swami Shraddhananda ji used to say, American people they have tremendous ingenuity. They invented so many good things in this world, but still they could not invent one good thing. But they invented vacuum cleaner. The joy would be, they would just come and clean the carpet in Sajaji's. And the vacuum cleaner, they vacuum, they take all the dust. Why do they not make a mind vacuum cleaner? Suppose in your mind all the dirt are there, just vacuum it. You should say, American people should invent one mind vacuum cleaner instead of carpet vacuum cleaner. Mind vacuum cleaner, you will have to come to your guru. He will teach you how to do it, how to purify the mind without the spiritual disciplines. That mantra, that will purify the mind. I sometimes give this illustration. If you have dirty clothes, what do? You put your clothes in the washing machine, you put the detergent, then you knob and 10 minutes cycle, and your clothes are clean. Same this, Guru gave the mantra, it will go, it will gyrate, it will rotate, mantra will remove all of the mental jars. If sometimes people come, I ask them that when you first time came to Vedanta and now after taking initiation and practicing spiritual disciplines, 6 months, 1 year in your shrine, you will see a change has come to your life. It is bound to come. It is bound to come. You will not get 10 hands and 5 feet and 10 heads, but your inner transformation, that we can see, those who come to spiritual life. How to test the mind? That your mind is na priya priya sprishataha. A good and bad will not be perturbed you. Swami Shraddhananda told about a monk. His name was Swami Pragyananda. Pragyananda. He was a revolutionary, then became a monk and a disciple of Holy Mother. Holy Mother Swami Shraddhananda says he was a real gentleman. Do you know what is the real definition of real gentleman? I shall attack you and make you angry and tell you all bad words, but you answer without perturbed, rationally. I am trying to make you angry, but you will not be angry, but you are answering my questions rationally. Then you are a gentleman. Without losing the temper, if we can maintain our civility, then you are a gentleman. Akrurata. Some people's minds are so crooked, shrewd. Always motivation, planning. I have seen some people, ideal gentlemen, some monks, so calm, serene, unperturbed, and people go to them for peace. If you sit near them, your mind will be calm, because they maintain so much calmness inside. So that is the reason we go to see a sadhu, holy man. He has calmness. If you come to that person, you will get that calmness. This is elaborately mentioned in the Bhagavatam. When you go to a perfume shop, you like it or don't like it, that perfume, that fragrance enter inside your nostrils. If you stand on the beach, the ocean breeze will soothe your body effortlessly. Similarly, if you go to a real holy person, that person's influence will calm your minds instantly. Manusham uchati, manushik, to austerity. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapas tat trividam narai aparakalang shivi yuktai sattikam parichakshate. This threefold austerity is practiced by steadfast people with great shraddha, desiring no fruit, is to be sattika. Satkara mana pujartham tapo dambhena chaivajat kriyati tad iha proktam rajasam chalam adruvam. That austerity which is practiced with the object of gaining welcome, honor and worship, and with ostentation, is said to be rajasic, unable, unstable and transitory. Muro grahinatmanu yat pīraya kriyati tapaha parasya sadhanartham bhatat tamasam udarritam. That austerity which is practiced out of foolish notion, with self-torture or for the purpose of ruining another, is declared to be tamasic. He was talking about this austerity also are done in many ways. Those who are bad people, those who know day and night they are thinking, how shall I destroy this person? His concentration, his tapasya, making destructive weapons or the maron, uchaton, some occult powers, with that they day and night they are thinking how to destroy others. It becomes boomerang. And Jesus said, those who live with the soul will be killed by the soul. Tapasya. The whole life is nothing but tapasya. When we read the Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, the son went to the father, Odihi Brahm Bhagavo Brahmeti. Hey Bhagavan, please teach me about Brahman. Do you know what does the father say? Tapasa Brahma Vijiggasasva. My son, practice austerity. Then come and ask me about Brahman. You did not practice austerity. You did not discipline your body. You did not discipline your speech. You did not discipline your mind. You did not purify yourself. And you are asking me, teach me about Brahman. It will not work, my son. Then he went, tapasya, and came back. Odi Bhagavo Brahmeti, what do you know? This Annam is Brahman, food is Brahman. Annam Brahmeti Bhajanat, Ishwari body is Brahman. But no, go back, practice tapasya. Then he says, sense organs are the Brahman. No, go back, mind is not yet purified. Then he says, mind is Brahman. No, go back. Buddhi, intellect is Brahman. No, go back. Tapasa Brahma Vijiggasasva. Again practice austerity. Then come. Then he says, Anandam Brahmeti Bhajanat. Ananda, bliss is Brahman. Then he says, she, on blissful Brahman, he gave instructions. You see, to understand God, spirituality, you must practice austerity. Sri Ramakrishna, you know what Sri Ramakrishna said? Ram Datta is a doctor, heart cutter doctor. He does surgery and cut the bone. He is a doctor. He declared me that I am an avatar. What does he know about avatar? Girish, he takes the girls and does the theater in the stage, and he declares me as an avatar. What does he know about avatar? If you want to know avatar, you must practice austerity. You must have a deep, disciplined life. The way Thakur said those things, Ram, Girish declared me as an avatar. What do they know about avatar? One is a doctor and another is a theater manager. Oh. And they declared me as an avatar. You need tapasya to understand God, about the spiritual life. All right. I think in next class I shall be able to finish this one. Now I was thinking our new Swami is coming. We shall engage him also to speak. But I want to finish the Bhagavad Gita. I started many years ago. So I am now in 121. Then some few chapters, few lectures, I want to finish this Gita. Gita is so beautiful and so practical, very practical. All right. Mukam karuti vachalam pangum langhayate girim tatkripa tamayamam bandi paramananda keshavam paramananda madhavam. By whose grace the lame scale mountains and the dam becomes eloquent. I bow down to that Krishna, Madhava. By his grace, we shall attain immortality. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.